Good morning and welcome to ATH's Assembly. Today we would like to talk to you about penguins. Penguins are a group of aquatic flightless birds who live almost exclusively in the southern hemisphere, with only one species, the Galapagos, living north of the equator.
Highly adapted for life in water, penguins have dark and white plumage and their wings have evolved into flippers. Most penguins feed on krill, fish, squid, and other forms of sea life, which they catch while swimming underwater. They spend roughly half of their lives on land and the other half in the sea.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what are you talking about?
We're doing the assembly on penguins, like Miss Hooper asked us to.
She didn't ask us to do an assembly on penguins. Yes she did. She said we should try to be more like penguins and eat more fish and stuff.
No, boys. What she said was we should try to be like the rock harbor penguins, but she didn't mean by eating more fish.
Rock penguins are the only penguins that move by jumping rather than sliding on their bellies. They're very fast in water but very clumsy on land. They try to get to the cliff tops by hopping, and they are knocked down back and have to start again many, many times.
We would now like to play you a short clip of the rock harbor penguins from the BBC documentary Penguins Spy in the Middle.
Tough climb, but they aren't called rock hoppers for nothing. They haven't hopped for 5 months, and they're out of practice. To record the next of their many trials. It's designed to film on the move. It seems deceptively easy, but roll cam soon has to give up. Drops below, and the waves are steadily building.
As you can see, the penguins get knocked back into the water time and time again, and they have to pick themselves up and try again. This is what we want to talk to you about this morning, the idea of perseverance, or we would like to call it true grit.
True grit is showing determination and courage. It is picking yourself up when you get knocked down. The rock harbor penguins you've just seen are an excellent example of true grit.
True grit could be continuing to do something that you find challenging when all you really want to do is give up.
True grit doesn't have to just be about school, learning, or work lessons. You can show true grit at home, on a sports team, when playing an instrument, or learning a new skill.
True grit is passionate perseverance for long-term goals. Having true grit is used to describe a person that tends to stick to the goals, despite numerous issues, problems, setbacks, and failures.
We'd like to show you another clip now of students around the world who have shown true grit.
These students have shown how determined they are to go to school, and they display courage, determination, and strength on their journey each day.
I think that this is an excellent example of true grit. These children want an education and are prepared to work for hours each day and face many dangers just to get there.
The idea of grit and determination is not a new one, and there's an old tale from Scotland about a king and a lord called Robin the Bruce.
Robert the Bruce was trying to free Scotland from the English, and he had fought many battles and been defeated many times.
After one of his worst defeats and battles, Bruce escaped and found a hideout in a cave. Hiding in it for 3 months, Bruce was at the lowest point of his life. He thought about leaving the country and never coming back.
While waiting, he watched a spider build a web in a cave entrance. The spider fell down time after time, but finally he succeeded with his web. So Bruce decided also to retry his fight and told his men, if at first you don't succeed, try, and try again. We would like you to take a moment now to think of a time that you suffered a setback or failed at something. Think how you responded to this.
Did you give up? Decide your goal wasn't worth reaching anyway? Think it's impossible, so you should stop trying? We're going to play a short video for you, and we want you to think of a goal you want to achieve this year. Think about what setbacks you might face, and think of how you will overcome them.
We asked some of the teachers when they had to show true grit. Ms. Benson said, one of the skills you have to be able to complete when undergoing the open water scuba diving course is to take your mask off whilst underwater, while still breathing through your regulator. You also have to be able to take the mask off and swim as usual. When I first attempted these skills, I was not at all confident. In fact, I just couldn't do it without panicking. I was told that unless I could complete these skills to a satisfactory level, I would not be able to pass my course and become a qualified open water diver. I went away and thought about my options. The next day, I got in the water and practiced until I was comfortable with the skills. These two skills have always made me a little nervous. However, early in the year, I completed my dive master course, whereby not only do you have to be able to do the skills comfortably, but you also need to be able to demonstrate them. All that time and effort I put in many years well paid off. I didn't give up.
Mr. Bull said that one of the times he had shown true grit was when he ran a marathon, which was 26.2 miles. He was running for 4 hours and he hit the wall at 21 miles. His legs were shaky and he really felt that his body couldn't go any further. He really just wanted to give up, but when he saw his parents cheering for him, this made him want to continue and make them proud. So he took the rest of the marathon 1 mile at a time and made it to the finish line.
When talking to Mr. Bull about true grit and resilience, he told us this quote by Rocky Balboa, the character from the Rocky films. Life isn't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. Let's hear the life advice that Rocky gives his son in this famous scene.
Well, you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go on and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what.
We also asked Mr. Short about a time when he'd shown resilience, and he said, when he was 14, he cycled from Edinburgh to London with 2 friends. It took him 7 days, and they raised £1,000 for a cancer charity, which he was very proud of. At times, Mr. Short really wanted to give up, but he and his friends supported each other and pushed each other to complete the challenge. Finally, we'd like to leave you with the thoughts. Grit isn't talent. Grit isn't luck. Grit isn't how intensely for the moment you want something. Instead, grit is about having a goal that means everything to you.
And grit is holding steadfast to that goal. Even when you fall down, even when you screw up, even when progress towards that goal is slow. So remember, be like the penguins, learn how to swim, and eat lots of fish. Thank you for listening.